I think I'm wearing a very on-theme jumper for today's video. Hey Spuds, what's up? It's Jamie, welcome back to another video, your first video on the channel. I don't know, but welcome either way, and I have had a cold, so I still sound a little bit snotty. Yum. It's also been a while since I filmed, so I feel like I'm being like, hello, welcome back, even though it's only been a week since I uploaded, but I took a break from filming. I got married, yay! Best weekend of my life, woo! But this video is not about me getting married. This video is about something significantly less happy. It's about transphobic memes. Whilst laughable and not happy, we can laugh at how ridiculous they are, whilst also being frustrated about the fact that they exist, and people put time and effort into making them and being transphobic. Why? Anyway, let's dive straight in and have a look at these memes. The transgender movement is demonic on just a flowery painting background. What is this? What does this even, what are they trying to prove? The picture, what does the picture have to do with, say, there's oysters? This is one of those ones that's funny because it's almost fake. I'm struggling to believe this is real. It's like, the transgender movement is demonic. Flowers. Trans kids are valid and need to be loved and protected. Yay! Why are they holding pitchforks and stuff? Which is why I don't think we should be pumping them full of experimental drugs when they're still in kindergarten. Grrr, angry mob. Okay, firstly, whenever these two things go together, I've never known of somebody to actually mean the first part, where they think that trans kids are valid and need to be loved and protected. When they're saying like trans kids need to be protected, they mean like I actually don't think trans kids exist, so we should just not be doing anything, and we should be forcing them to live the way that we think that they should live. So maybe there is the very rare odd person that believes both of these statements. But with the second statement, it's not actually even true, and it doesn't happen. Like, trans kids do not have any access to medical intervention apart from puberty blockers, and that wouldn't be anywhere near kindergarten. That would be when they're nearing the age or in and around the age of puberty starting, and after a butt ton of assessments and everything. It's not easy to access puberty blockers. So first bit, yay, thank you, I hope you mean it. Second bit, doesn't even happen. You would not get an angry mob by saying that. You would get a lot of confused faces being like, okay, well that doesn't happen anyway. Wanna go on a date? Sure. No, you have to date trans women. We're valid, we exist, we are indistinguishable. The simultaneous most hilarious and most frustrating thing about a majority of transphobic memes is they are based purely on fictional scenarios that transphobes have made up. Like, this does not happen. Nobody's telling you who you have to date. Where it goes into the realm of transphobia is when you start saying that you wouldn't date a trans woman because you don't see them as a real woman. That's very problematic. But by dating a cis woman, there's not trans women peering in the window going, oh, that's unfair. Who thinks of these things? The loudest sounds on Earth, concert speakers, fireworks, gunfire, blue whale, space shuttle. Is a blue whale really that loud? Snowflakes being misgendered. Actually, do you know what that bottom one is? It's not snowflakes being misgendered. It's transphobes when they see anything remotely positive happening to trans people or any kind of trans-related news that is not shitting on trans people. Then they have this massive meltdown and go on 4-day Twitter rants over nothing, which is completely ludicrous, when actually being deliberately misgendered is a very valid thing to stand up and say, excuse me, that's not correct, and to say something about it. Not that it's louder than a space shuttle or a blue whale or gunfire or fireworks or concert speakers. Dear transgender people, it's better to be miserable being who you are than happy pretending to be someone you're not. No matter how happy transitioning will make you, do not transition. Hold on. Let me just get my head round that. I transitioned because I was unhappy trying to force myself to live as somebody I'm not. And now I am happy living as who I am. But they seem to have gotten very confused. It's better to be miserable being who you are. No, because I was miserable because I wasn't who I am. Transitioning only made me happier and feel better because it allowed me to live fully as myself. This person just does not understand. Transgender swimmers, like a Terminator-style robot. Female swimmers. Oh god, this is some like bull about trans women in women's sports and just no. Enough of the trope of trans women being some kind of scary danger to cis women. It's just so fake. Bleh. You assumed my gender? Happy Mother's Day. Sorry, I forgot you're a Democrat. I feel like there's a lot of Democrats and like left people who are not necessarily trans accepting. And again, with the made up scenario, I'm fascinated and also highly uncomfortable with where people come up with these things. Is it a boy or a girl? We'll let the kindergarten teacher decide. Also now, teachers are now the ones assigning the genders and choosing them for the children. Yes, 100%, this absolutely happens. Wow. Meanwhile, in California, Mum, I got stung by a bee. No, you got stung by a fish, and I'm not your mum, I'm your birthing person, son. Oh, God. This must be satire. It's too ridiculous to be real. You got stung by a fish. Oh my God. Gender identity, sitting in a throne, looking over various other things, bowing down. Santa Claus, Loch Ness Monster, blue whale, flat earth theory, 5G antenna spreading COVID. Okay, I get what this is trying to say. That gender identity is as ridiculous as believing in Santa Claus or that the earth is flat. Wow. To be honest, I've actually seen quite a lot of overlap between, like, COVID conspiracy and people being transphobic. I'm not saying it's, like, a thing. I've just personally seen it. I mean, it really all boils down to people just not believing that trans people are real, doesn't it? Kind of makes you look a bit silly to completely deny something that's supported by science, though, doesn't it? LGB spraying TQIA+. We don't want you in our community. Ooh, what if you were part of both? That I am bisexual and trans. Am I spraying away the trans part of me? Just like, go away. I mean, this is just bullshit. Yes, there is transphobia and other types of phobia, like acephobia, within the LGBT plus community. There's also biphobia, and it's not a majority. It's not everybody who's LGB that wants rid of the TQIA plus or is phobic against that portion of the community. It's just a select few that's not very nice and don't recognise that transphobia and other types of phobia are just recycled homophobia. So why are people that know that happened and potentially even experienced it themselves turning it around and putting others through that? Baffles me so much. My son's first grade assignment from yesterday. I'm so sick of this. I'm not going to read where the school is. Gender: girl, boy, neither or both. Girl, she, her. Boy, he, him. Neither or both, they, them. Pronouns. Honestly, I don't see what's wrong with that. Teaching kids about gender identity, the fact there's more than just boys and girls, pronouns, like, okay, what's wrong with that? How to draw a trans person. Okay, I bet that this is just going to be all things that are heavily stereotyped. I'm assuming they're comparing a trans woman / trans feminine person with a trans man or trans masculine person. On the left hand side, we have higher W-shaped hairline, more angular face shape / jawline, broader shoulders, smaller hips, tall stature, larger feet. And then the trans masculine person, lower hairline, rounder, softer face shape, smaller shoulders, wider hips, short stature, smaller feet. I don't understand the necessity of it. Feel like it potentially wasn't coming from a negative place, but I think it really feeds into that whole trope of like, we can always tell trans women always look this way and have these features, trans men always look that way and have these features, when it is not true. There is no such thing as a born trans person. I don't know, I'm pretty sure most trans people were born. There's no such thing as a born trans. Are they trying to say that people aren't born trans? That is the most convoluted way of saying that, but is also just not true. It didn't just suddenly wake up one day and be like, I'm trans, I chose this. Imagine paying thousands of dollars for dysphoria medication when sunlight is free. Imagine paying for any kind of medication. Imagine being on any kind of medication when sunlight is free. What if I turned around and said that about something else? It would sound ridiculous, just as that sounds ridiculous to me. Sunlight did nothing for my dysphoria. In fact, it made it worse because blinders and sunlight don't go together, and I couldn't cover up and help my dysphoria by wearing baggy clothes when it was sunny. So actually, that free sunlight made my dysphoria worse. Toy Story if it was made in 2022. Buzz, you are a toy. Hey, that offend me. You are astrophobic and should be cancelled. Shame on you. For people like you, we live in a country full of bigots who eat meat and are straight and white. I'm about to give up on this video. I really like sports and the colour blue. Let's schedule the surgery. Ugh. Oh, that's so uncomfortable. Serious question. Do people really genuinely, honestly, truthfully believe that this kind of scenario happens? Because it doesn't, and there is no such thing as the surgery anyway, and you wouldn't just be able to schedule it. This is the future radical left liberals want. Ah, we're going to hit that mountain. Quiet. I identify as a pilot. Woke airlines. So the radical left liberals want a future where anybody can identify as anything, like job role, and it means that plane is gonna crash. Weird. Just weird. God created Adam and Eve. Satan made up all the other genders. I mean, are you not kind of admitting that they exist then? If God created this, Satan created that, they're there. What a strange thing to make. And that is all the transphobic memes for this episode of Transphobic Memes. The transphobes really can't meme, can they? They're very hilariously rubbish at memeing. Did we like this video? Think about giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you did, but there's no pressure. And yeah, that was fun. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.